Listen, we're having some fun here, but last night was not fun watching sports. You know, we as sports fans sometimes can't get to enjoy nice things. And we here in Los Angeles have been enjoying watching JuJu Watkins show up on the campus of USC and become one of the most famous basketball players in the United States of America, if not the world. And that's not overstating it. When UCLA played USC on the Saturday night of the first weekend of March, when I was at the Combine in Indianapolis, you know, I was sitting there watching a whole bunch of I was sitting in the if you will sports bar setup in the lobby of the hotel in Indianapolis that had a whole host of games that were on at the same time. There was only one I was interested in, and there was only one that really was important, to be honest with you, with all due respect to a lot of the NBA games that were being played and a lot of the NCAA games that were being played and the preseason exhibition baseball I was seeing up there. USC playing UCLA was the marquee event in Los Angeles and the United States of America, not just because of how great UCLA is, but that's JuJu Watkins. Mm-hmm. My daughter's got a JuJu Watkins shirt. And she has more NIL deals than Cooper Flagg. That's a fact, too. So when she went down last night, it started a text chain. You were the first to pretty much, you and Sarah were watching the game together.
Yeah, we were watching.
USC taking on Mississippi State here in Los Angeles in a round of 32 to try and make the Sweet 16. And she's driving to the basket. She gets bumped hip to hip. And how many times does somebody just fall down to the court and just get up?
Yep.
But her right leg plants, and you could just see it.
Yeah.
You could just see her right leg buckle, and you could see the way that she went down and the way that she was screaming and the way that her teammates were standing over and then having to carry her off. It's a torn ACL. Shams was reporting this last night. And I'm imagining there'll be, surgery immediately, and off JuJu goes. And we watch, USC destroys Mississippi State anyway. Kiki Iriafen getting a 36-point night, double-double, the whole business. Oh, she just was one rebound shy of a double-double. They took care of business, but here we go. We were hoping to see USC go on this run. There is another matchup with UCLA that still could happen. I mean, USC takes on K-State Saturday night at 8 Eastern time. That'll be going down, let me make sure I get this right, on ESPN and the family of networks of Disney, which you can see right here on Roku. And boy, it would have been if USC was on a collision course in an Elite Eight game with UConn. With all due respect to UConn's opponent and our friend Stacey Dale's alma mater, her numbers hanging in the rafters of Oklahoma. If USC was taking on UConn, seeing Paige Beckers and
so sick
JuJu Watkins on the same court like that, we have been robbed of this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm discounting other teams and other programs. LSU is going to be potentially on a collision course with UCLA in an Elite Eight game.
And South Carolina's always going to be there.
South Carolina, UNC and Duke is playing each other in a Sweet 16 game Friday at 2:30 Eastern. Texas and Tennessee. You want to talk about blue bloods, right? Notre Dame and TCU. I mean, these Sweet 16 matchups, we're now going to start to see the cream of the college basketball crop play one another, and there's no JuJu Watkins. What else can you say other than it's sickening and a damn shame? Because, these things happen, but usually not to somebody who's of a superstar status, right in the middle of just when we wanted to see everybody at full strength to go and try and cut down a net in Tampa, Florida on April the 6th. USC still could do it. Now, this could be one of those, let's do it for JuJu.
Rally behind.
I mean, we've seen it happen.
Yep.
But
But it takes the air out of, what could have been.
What an absolute bummer.
What still will be, but it's just, when one of the top teams is without the superstar and one of the faces of the sport, it's just a major bummer. That's the only way to put it.
And she's a sophomore, and so how does this affect even next season?
Chris and I were discussing that this morning, Rich. Like, this happened so late. Is she back next year after this surgery?
Yeah, I got to imagine. I mean, it's 9 months. It's not a full year. It's not a year plus anymore. It's a 9-month recovery. We saw Stephon Diggs, like he's running at full speed. He had the same injury late in the year of the NFL season. I fully expect her to be back, right?
For the beginning of the
maybe not the beginning, but by what, January, right?
You can hope.
Obviously, this will be a top story and discussed on Women's Sports Now right here on Roku on Thursday.
Shakes up the rundown.
I watched it being shaken up last night. I'm sure you were as well, sitting there next to Sarah, and I was sitting next to Susie in our respective living rooms, and that's one half of the hosts of Women's Sports Now, Colleen Wolfe and Renee Montgomery, will I'm sure have quite a bit to say on this subject matter.
Sure.
That'll be on Wednesday. I mean, as soon as the clock strikes midnight, Women's Sports Now right here on Roku. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.